Hey guys, welcome to Toy Shop. Today we're going over this Extreme Max Monster Dolly.
No. Pretty Caroline, stone cold stunner.
So we got this dolly last fall, and I definitely don't use this dolly daily, like multiple times a day. I don't move sleds that much. I probably use it a dozen times a season maybe. So this review isn't going to be from somebody that uses it a lot every day. I just work on a couple sleds here and there in the winter, so I just got to dolly it in here so I'm not digging up the cement. But it seems to work phenomenal. When I pull a sled up to the garage door, I don't pull the skis in on the cement, so the dolly's always in the dirt when I go to pick the sled up. And as long as you get it balanced halfway decent, which is kind of an art in itself, if it's balanced decent, the sled will pull right in. It won't really fall off the dolly. The wheels have never been an issue. For being plastic, they're actually pretty beefy. Like, I'm really surprised. I was really nervous about that before, and I made a video about this dolly when I first got it, because that's the thing I wanted to test. I wanted to see if these plastic wheels were going to hold up, because all the other snowmobile dollies I ever used all had like wheelbarrow style tires on them, like with a steel rim in it. So I didn't really have any experience with plastic wheels except for the bicycle size tire dollies that were popular a few years ago. I don't really recommend those. The wheels are pretty flimsy on it. Unless you're just moving sleds around on cement, that they seem to work fine. But if you're gonna try pulling it across your driveway or something, I'd stay away from the bicycle style tire plastic wheeled dollies. But all in all, this dolly seemed to treat me really well. There's only one thing I've had an issue with, and it wasn't the strap. The strap seems to hold up really good. I mean, it seems to be just like a normal pull-tight style strap, and the hook hasn't given me any issues either. If you saw my other video, I had a heavy Yamaha 4-stroke on it, and it didn't seem to affect it at all. So this has been a really good dolly so far. There was a little bit of growing pains. I put the bars that go underneath the tunnel up in the very furthest forward tube, and I kind of struggled a lot with getting the sleds up in the air, even fairly light sleds like 500s and stuff. I had kind of an issue getting the dolly pulled down so that I could actually get it clipped on the back bumper. But I ended up moving the bars back one spot, and it actually helped a lot more than you'd think it would for just moving the bar 2 inches. So that seemed to help a lot, and really I had no ground clearance issues with this, even with a big sled. So I think the front tubes are a little bit unnecessary. Not really sure. I haven't moved every sled there's ever been made. So maybe there's a sled that you need to use the front tubes on this in order to get the extra ground clearance. Once I got that figured out, moved the bars back into the back tubes, it seemed to work really well. Now I do have an issue, because trailing arm sleds are still around, and I don't see them being phased out for another 20 years. And this isn't the greatest for sleds with trailing arms, because when you put the dolly all the way up on it, the trailing arms don't hit the black rubber pad. It lays on the red frame, and there's no grippy action. And if you drop the nose down, the sled will slide forward and the dolly will get slid back until the strap gets tight, and then all your weight's in the front, and I don't like that. I really think that Extreme Max should either like put a rubberized texture over the bottom tubes here or something. Maybe if there are R&D departments watching this, maybe that can kind of give them an idea. Just because there's still a lot of trailing arm sleds that are out on the trail today. I made this half rear-ended thing that helped me a little bit. Was I took an old inner tube and cut it into slits, and I ran it through that front tube because that's where the trailing arms like to sit, and that helps a lot. But if you start pulling it over rough bumpy terrain and stuff, the rubber inner tube will still slide and you're still in the same boat. But really that's my biggest complaint, is trailing arm sleds are kind of difficult because they like to slide. Other than that, I have no complaints over this dolly, and if someone were to steal it, I'd probably end up buying another one. And if you want to buy one yourself, there's going to be a link down in the description, so make sure you check that out. If you want to see this dolly in action, check out right there. I'm going to put it right there. So check that out and see what my initial thoughts were on this dolly. And until next time, peace.